Okay, so it's Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and this has to be my last take. Like I tried to make this video a few times already, and it's super like low quality, right? So I shouldn't be so stressed. Every year I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna make a bunch of YouTube videos. I'm gonna do my thing, and it always ends up being that I just come up with excuses like, oh man, maybe the quality's not good enough. X Y X Y Z, right? So like I'm sitting down today trying to like lock in on this, and I'm already overthinking it on like my Mac laptop. So wherever this video goes, I'm just gonna upload it, even if it's just like incoherent ramblings. Um, it's a part of my New Year's resolution this year to post on this channel. So I'm gonna do it today. I guess I'm feeling if I don't, like I'll get overwhelmed with like everything else in my life that's demanding attention, and then I'll literally never do it. So okay, so I've just been I feel like lately the child inside of me has been like gnawing at me or like kind of begging to come out. Like I wonder at what age we say like or I wonder at what age the pressures, our external pressures become so immense that we just kind of like code switch on that child inside of us and just say like, okay, like now it's time to lock in on, whatever it is that we're pursuing just so that we can like keep up with the demands of like getting older. Like um it's super easy to default on like your passions when like the world around you um kind of demands more attention for you to keep up with like groceries or like your mortgage, right? Like any of these things. And I wonder if there's sort of like a median for when most of us do that. Um, I have a really hard time doing that, and I think in like Western society, like because I don't know much about the rest of how the world operates in this way. I think that's a serious source of like mental health problems, especially in the way of like I guess just like the modern day, because I meet so many people who just feel like honestly like Homelander. Like I'm like, how are you doing? They're like, oh hey, like they don't like I understand professionalism, but I feel like a lot of people have completely given up on like the artistic kid inside of them to kind of like code switch and lock into a reality that's like super profit oriented, like super like, you know, here's the objective and here's what I'm trying to get to oriented. Like there's no I very frequently don't feel that people free flow. And I believe that there's hills and valleys. Like there's definitely times to be like more professional than other times, and there's definitely times to be like more like free in the way that you behave. But I find the most depressing part of getting older is that like people are way less willing to come up to you and be like, hey, like when you're a kid, you like go to the park and you're like, hey, like let's play tag, let's do something like that, let's go like, of course it's like a childish thing to do, but like now that I'm an adult, people kind of come up to you and they're like, oh hey, like what do you do? And it's like I understand they're trying to be like nice and kind and stuff, but my point is that I feel like it's super depressing that like as you age, you become defined by like your role in society, and that's kind of like what people are first to ask you about, and like I just feel confined by the notion that like we have to kind of live one way to succeed in the way of like food and shelter. Anyway, like I'm not like the first person to kind of like feel this way, so like I'm not trying to get into the logistics and X, Y, and Z of the situation. But what I do want to discuss, or what I feel like I have to discuss, is that like it's totally valid for you to just like let that kid out of you more frequently. Like for me, like right now, situationally, I'm super in debt. So I'm 24. I'm super in debt. I'm $24,000 in credit card debt. I have a vehicle that I'm financing because it's challenging to take the bus if you want time in my city, and this is during kind of the pandemic when it was like everything was super unaffordable and it made sense to just get new. Um, I'm a student, so I have like I'm already I don't even know how much student loan debt that I even have. So I'm cooked in like many ways. Like I'm like super cooked, but not in a way that's like impossible to come back from. And like so for me, it's like I'm struggling, um, to not repress that child so that I can kind of like lock in and get the jobs done that I need to get done. And quite frankly, I'm scared that like I'm gonna lose that part of me because I feel like there's never been a time for me that I've kind of like lost that child. I've always had a really hard time like getting super like socially serious, I guess, and like just like chatting, um, like wonderful weather we're having type conversations like cook me, and I can barely stomach them. Um, so for me, like why I'm in so much debt is like I went and I defaulted like hard into the art scene in Calgary, which is my hometown. I've I remember as a kid, I used to do this thing where I'd like go and I'd find like a bush, and I would like dig like a little hole or something, and I'd put like a bracelet or something there, or like something of that something of that sort, right? Like say I had a hard time at home and I wanted to leave my house, or I had to, or so on and so forth, and I had a place to kind of go and like find what I left there, if that makes any sense. So I'd create like little shelters, and I'd go and like hang out and like um I just like, you know what I mean. Like I always enjoyed having like little safe spaces as a kid, and so I'm super in debt right now because I've tried to create that as an adult for myself in the way of like a recording studio in my city, which is like totally nuts to like a lot of people, and I even think it's nuts to be honest. Like I can, that's makes sense. Like it actually is nuts. But I've done it like, and I've done it like like really like on a large scale for myself, but it was never sustainable. Like from the beginning, I all of my like I've just like slammed credit cards down on it trying to like build a space like that, sort of like an adult equivalent, so that if I like need a space to go because like life gets challenging, I have it, but also so that everybody can access it. So it's like we have a public location here, and I try like my best to like create a space for people to kind of come down and just like just enjoy themselves, like create art, create music, like everybody's welcome kind of thing, like just reconnect with that child inside of you, um, and yeah, so like that's kind of what like got me in the position that I'm in. So like I guess case in point, I can see that it's unsustainable to like never lock in like big time, but because it's like not been sustainable for me in the way of like I've just put everything into like getting this space up and trying to like create sort of like a safe space for like all people who kind of want to nurture that like child inside of them. Um, but I just wanted to make this video for myself mostly so I could put it up to say like, yo, come back to this because I'm about to go work construction again, and like that to me is like hell for me, like straight up. Like I can barely deal with it a lot of the time, and like I know there's tons of good people in construction and stuff, but more often than not, I like interact with people who are like super like either like racist or like that the whole like spill, like it's just it's too much for me a lot of the time, and I'm fine with the physical labor, but it's just like, and then it takes away, it's like that's kind of like my lock-in, right? Because then it takes away from like how much I can create because I have to like go like it's like either you're all on or you're all off type thing, and I'm on summer break now, so like I could either like not lock in and just create, which would be like super harsh for me, like financially, like it really messed me up, or I can kind of like tell that kid in me like, yo, like I have to lock in for a bit, like try not to die. And I guess like case in point, that's what scares me the most about society is that like you have two options. A, you lock in heavy, and like you really just best pray that that child inside you doesn't die, because if that child inside you dies, you lose so much of what makes you like a unique and special human being. Like the when you're told as a kid you can achieve anything, anything, anything. When that kid inside you dies, I feel like so frequently, so does that mindset, and that's like terrifying to me. So, or you can do what I did and like just like lock in heavy on not letting that kid inside you die, and just being like irrational with how you spend in hopes of like creating a situation where like you can kind of like interact with other kind of people who have the same mindset. And because like say for example, like I don't like meeting those kind of like I don't like doing those code switch meetings. Running a studio is sick because like most people aren't trying to do that. Like they pull up and they're like right away they're like, I feel like I'm meeting like the kid inside of them, and I think that that's like a super special thing for me. And it's like, um, yeah, like I've done my best to create a space that can be possible. Um, But I have to lock in now. I have to go and I have to like put my head down and I have to work construction and I have to pay everything off and it would be and I really want it to be my last time. I want this to be the least focused. Sorry, let's go to text. I want this to be the least focused that like I'll ever be kind of thing because I kind of have to get away and just like drone off and pay all this stuff off. I want this to be the word. I want this to be the last bad spot in my life because I can't really. I don't want to like I want to pay off the debt and I want to live without having that child inside me die. So yeah, this video just serves a reminder for that. It's super just quick and dirty. Again, it's just more for me. I'm not gonna like advertise or anything, but it will just be down on my channel, like at the very bottom, so that like if I feel really like geeked out, like after like X amount of time, I can just come back and be like, bro, you said you were gonna like hold it down. You said you're gonna pay the debt off and you're gonna hop back and you're gonna like run the space. So just like, yeah, this is just my incoherent blabbering. So like, if this impacts nobody, that's fine because it's mostly just like me hoping that like I can kind of create a space for me to come back and refer to. So and also get comfortable in front of the camera because like I did not script any element to this video and it's just like I can totally tell that if I want this channel to ever like touch people that I probably should kind of start developing outlines because that was like super all over the place. But either way, thank you to those who watch and to me in the future if you're watching this, like lock in but like creatively, bro, and if it's like in a corporate or like construction way, you can still be like don't let that kid inside you die. Like every now and then like on the drive to work just say like yo, this is for this, like I'm doing this so that I can like get us to a space where like we can default back to that way of being. Don't get lost in that lock-in. Like yeah, straight up. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. And thank you guys for watching and I will hopefully make another one soon. Oh, also my hair, it's super long. Sorry, like I couldn't stop touching it because I've been trying to film a short film for like so long, and if I cut my hair, then like the character in the film is like it would be inconsistent with the plot. So like yeah, my bad. It looks crazy. This is a crazy video. Yeah, peace out, guys.